Mala, Yuck Mala! Welcome back, my friends, to the Cult Film Showdown. I am your host, 8th Dan Stanadu, and I am happy to be with you to wrap up our cannon fodder season. And I am joined by my pals, my buddies. I got Jack Hall.
Sup?
Sup, man? Yo.
Yo.
And also James Cotta.
I am thrilled to be here for the final episode, episode 8, The Confrontation.
The Confrontation. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Nick Boxer is going to confront something for us soon as well.
Yes, greetings and salutations, running high and tight.
High and tight.
Yes, we're right into the meat of this. Today we're talking about Ninja 2, The Confrontation, I believe, is the subtitle on that. Am I correct?
American Ninja 2, The Confrontation. That's right. Our canon
yes.
season wraps up with, I really thought that, Sam Furstenberg and Michael Dudikoff would really bring it. I was completely wrong, but that's okay, So, Nick, American Ninja 2, please.
I think you're underselling this film. It has super ninjas. Joe and his buddy Steve James are called in after the events of American Ninja 1 to investigate some missing Marines on what I believe is the Fiji Islands. It is never said. I looked it up. There is no official thing. Well, they arrive in this marine town populated solely by beach bum Marines. Everyone's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, run by Wild Bill Hickok, or Wild Bill they call him. I don't know if his last name is Hickok. I don't think it's ever said, but G.I. Joe could have won a lawsuit, was invented before this movie, about that character. But anyway, after questioning the one guy who is obviously involved in these mystery marine things, they sort of discover that, ninjas are about, and there's a couple ninja fights. Then Steve James runs off and discovers that a drug lord is on the island, is kidnapping Marines and brainwashing them into robot ninjas to sell to the highest bidder. Steve James then comes in running with the Marines all behind him to kick some butt and take down all the ninjas. But you know what? Joe has taken care of all the ninjas by the time they got there. Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I don't think I have anything else to say about it.
Okay. I don't either.
That's the thing is, do I love this type of movie? Yeah, I love this type of movie that, I'm terribly entertained by, these canon movies with the bad choreography and, and it feels like it's like the budget of an episode of the A-Team and this and that. But I also don't think it's going to be a high scorer because it is just generic, fun, typical canon movie.
There's something that happened, I think, and it's an interesting thing because like Sam Furstenberg, for a little while, felt like this amazing director that could almost do no, I'll say wrong, but I really mean right, and now it just seems like especially with Avenging Force and now into this, that he kind of settled into a real groove of just competent. And the problem with him being competent is that it makes the movie typical.
Well, I haven't seen, did this come before or after Ninja 3 Domination?
That I do not know.
Let me look it up for you guys.
All right,
it's
excellent.
87. Do you know what Domination was?
I think it was 86, but I will confirm.
We'll just stop the show right now. But Sam Furstenberg definitely has a lot of. It was 84. Ninja 3: The Domination was 84. So I think the thing is that it's really after 84 that he does become kind of more competent. When you talk about American Ninja Avenging Force, then American Ninja 2. So yeah, I think that it's almost like he did learn his craft enough to reach this point of canon competency.
It was 1984.
Yeah.
Kind of
You're welcome.
workman-like.
Yeah.
It's I mean, and he continued doing a lot of movies because he could tell a coherent story. It would come in at 90 minutes, and he would stay on budget.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really that can keep you working for most of your life if you can successfully do those three things.
Well, exactly, and when you think about these movies, I mean, you can have, especially in the 80s. I mean, you got to make your hay because this was a prime time for the kind of movies that he did. I mean, and we saw that he didn't work much past 2000, that's for sure. Yeah. But it's like you could really do a lot of damage if you were good at this kind of movie in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it's a real gold rush era for lower budget, especially action films, because they did so well in foreign markets. Explosions work in every language.
Yeah.
And so did ninja fights. What was up with the fighting in this? Like, did they forget to hire a fight choreographer?
Well, no. A funny thing, the choreographer
was worse in this than he was in the first one. Like, he knew less.
Yeah, but the choreographer in this case was Mike Stone again, and so good to see him back. But it's one of those cases where it feels like maybe Mike Stone didn't want him to look as good as Mike Stone would have looked.
Yeah, or they didn't shoot the coverage there was a lot of stage fighting where it's no one's coming anywhere close to each other.
Nowhere.
I got an entirely different impression. Of course, I'm still coming off of the high that was Return of the Ninja. I was actually pleasantly surprised, people moved. I thought the card review was fine for this era of movie.
But you have the fight on the beach where all the ninjas attack Dudikoff, and they throw spears and fire arrows at him that are clearly just tossed in from off screen. Like, there's no speed to them at all.
No, exactly.
Yeah, but you got Steve James, and that man can pose.
Oh, Steve James is amazing.
Steve James is so much better. He's such a bigger action star, more charismatic than Dudikoff could ever be. Mm-hmm. And hey, it's nothing against the cough, but Steve James is awesome.
How did he never get a solo effort?
Steve James deserves everything. The thing about Dudikoff is he's he just kind of smolders. That tends to be what he does. And I find it really, it's fascinating to watch him because, and now that, especially with two of his movies in this season, it's just his performance is exactly the same throughout both of them.
I actually discovered something in this movie. I should save it to the end, right before scoring. But I learned that you can tell the American Ninja movies from the American Kickboxer movies by who he's fighting. If he's fighting ninjas, it's a ninja movie.
Interesting.
If he's fighting kickboxers.
The one thing that this movie felt like to me, and I don't have very much more to say about it, but is that it seemed like a good way to get him in different kinds of fights more so than anything. Like they did the usual, so now it's just we've got to throw different stuff at him so that it looks like he's doing something different.
Indeed.
If you say it looks like he's doing something different, I guess he was. I mean, I don't know.
I think the situations were different. He was not. He was just doing.
Dudikoff he's not known for his range, so I wouldn't know if different is the right word to describe anything he does.
And the funny thing is that after starting American Ninja 3, I would have never thought that there could have been an actor that I would have said makes Dudikoff look really good. But there you go.
Oh yes, that's right. Doesn't he get mad because the series kind of gets taken from him and given to this co-star in the next film?
Well, it's given to some karate guy that I don't remember his
He's
name.
in it, but not much.
No, or is he? I don't know.
I think he skips one.
Yeah, he skips one. He's in
this
4.
is about the end of him and Cannon.
So before when he's in it, not much.
Yeah, like this is kind of where Dudikoff and Cannon split. Because Cannon was about to collapse. They only did a few more movies after this. All right, well,
which is a sad thing, but I got to say, before we do the scoring, did it teach anybody anything else?
Steve James really deserved better.
I found out that you can hit people with swords, and no matter how hard or how many times you do it, there is no blood.
I found if you run a sword across someone's chest, it just kills them. They're just dead. Yeah. No matter how gently you do it.
They were super ninjas. There could be a thing there.
Yeah, were they super ninjas? I just don't know. But,
they did call them super ninjas.
Well, they
were super ninjas. They were genetically enhanced and yet beaten up by a regular guy, no problem.
There's a lot there. Okay, let's get to scoring because
I think we're gonna get to scoring.
Super ninjas is gonna come up.
All right. In our search for the ultimate B movies, we rate each film in 5 categories, none of which are objective quality. The first category we call Schlock Upheal, and we start with Stan.
Well, in this case, I'm gonna go back to a Nickism, and he said last episode that women in prison automatically get a 7 just for being women in prison. Well, in this case, I'm going to give this a 7 because it's an American Ninja movie, so it feels like there is an automatic level of schlock.
I was going to go with the 6, but you were so persuasive, I'm agreeing with you on the 7. Quoting me really gets me on your side.
Yeah, you kind of thrown me for a loop. You guys got to me so fast, number 1. And number 2, you both scored at a 7. I got a 6 because, like I say, I greatly enjoy this type of film from Cannon, but it's not exactly... it's it's a generic Cannon film, as generic as Cannon can be. So, yeah, 6.
I'll second that 6. So we'll split the voting. All right. More heart than budget. I got a budget of $350,000.
I won't disagree with you this time.
Hey!
That seems like a perfectly fair budget for an American Ninja movie that is an American Ninja movie. I will give it I'll give it a 3 because Steve James showed up.
I'm gonna split it right down the middle with a 5. I mean, it's an American Ninja movie. I mean, you know what you're getting if you've already seen one or American Kickboxer or any of these films. You know what you're getting, and this is a good one, I think.
Well, $350,000 is really not much money, and there's no doubt they tried to make as good a film as they could out of that. I mean, it's it's fine. So I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I don't know. The fights really bring down this number for me. I think if you're gonna, bring it for an American, if you're gonna call the movie American Ninja, the thing that you kind of have to deliver on is the ninja fighting. I mean, you could do the American one for less than that money, but the ninja part you really got to sell. So only a 3 for me. What the fuck moments?
This is, it's funny because a lot of it is kind of due to, a lot of my what the fuck is due to the overarching what the fuck of the thing that sold me on doing this movie was the concept of the super ninja. But there is so much that ties into the super ninja part of this for me, where it's just, that's also part of the disappointment. Now, starting, I love the off the top where it was just like, okay, they sabotaged the boat to get them on the island, And it's like Steve James goes to follow them into the water and have a swim. Dudikoff stays, and all I could think of was like Dudikoff stayed because Dudikoff doesn't want to wreck his hair. There was the great point where he jumped into the boat, which was really impressive. I love Wild Bill. At one point, they came back and it's like, it's ninjas, and Wild Bill's like, "What's a ninja?" And I'm like, pretty sure you should know what a ninja is by this point. There was a great Steve James moment where like a whole bunch of guys were on top of him and he like busts out and you just hear the bowling pins sound effect of the strike going on.
I love that Hulk spot.
That was so weird.
It was
just out of nowhere.
And then we get to the Super Ninja. So we're in the big Super Ninja spot. He says like, I have a whole bunch of Super Ninja, and then he proceeds to have his main man, right hand man, slaughter every single one of them. And it was just like, okay, how is this proving how good your Super Ninja are that the one guy can kill them all? And then everybody beats up on the Super Ninjas at any given point.
And what's weird is they do that in the first movie too.
Yeah,
they just kill off a whole bunch of because they're so awesome. Now watch us kill a ton of them.
Yeah, it's just like there's just so much wrong with this concept of the Super Ninja. Like they wasted it because it's like, oh, we're supposed to have Super Ninjas, and then it's just like, yeah, but they all suck. So okay, it's too bad. There's a great scene where they're explaining all about the Super Ninjas, and Dudikoff and the woman are just hanging around in stolen ninja costumes, like the only two ninjas that are hanging around and watching, and nobody thinks that's weird. I love it when the Marines invade the island, and it's just like, don't fire upon unless fired upon, or you could just throw a grenade at them first. That'll be fine. And honestly, Steve James, wonderful actor that he was, with his great ninja battle at the end where he just gave it. It was swords, it was everything. Like it was a masterpiece, way better than I remember him way more than I do Dudikoff. So for that, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Just you have the American ninja invading a super ninja island, and everyone sort of lays down. You introduce the concept of a super ninja island, you better bring the heat, and it's just not here. It's super weird that the ending isn't longer or more climactic. Like, it should be awesome, and it just wasn't. Couple good fights, but not a lot of fun. I think it was also super what a WTF that the doctor who's creating these zombie ninja, super ninja dudes run when he gets free, he runs and kills off all the guys he has in test tubes. Aren't these guys innocent Marines? Was there they never established the fact that none of this could be reversed. You've got a good guy just killing 8 of them in tubes. Yeah. I'll go with the 6. Not high, but there's some weird shit in this.
Yeah, I think you nailed it exactly. There's a little bit of weird stuff here, but it's not high. It's nothing that makes me just laugh my butt off or anything, because I was just watching generally entertained because I like this type of movie more than because the WTFs were so great. In fact, I think you guys, especially Stan, covered every single one. And a good movie would leave me with up 10 more, and then when I'm done, there's at least 8 still for Jim. So I don't know. I'm going to give it a 6 as well, but it's not. It's disappointing for it. With Furstenberg, we're always expecting a 10.
That science story is the weirdest part of the movie, because it's the driving thing behind this. It's like the the love interest who gets introduced. It's her dad that's missing, and they resolve that story with like 10 minutes to go in the film, and none of our heroes are involved in the resolution of it. He goes off and does that, like blow up the lab thing. No one else had to be there for that to happen. He could have done that at any point, probably. So and then she's fine. Like she got a whole 30 seconds with her dad before he blew himself up, and she's cool with that. Afterwards, she's at a party. She's cool. She's good. She said her goodbyes. Still only a 6 for me. Memorable moments.
You know what I found most memorable about this is that it has a Guns N' Roses song that plays right off the top. It's one of the first songs as they're cruising around with the Beach Bum Marines.
What song?
Looking at the credits, it's Move to the City. It's one of the early ones that's actually from their Uzi Suicide days before they signed with a major label. So I will find the fact that GNR first appeared here as memorable. So I will give that a 4.
Not all that memorable for me. I think I'll remember this as the American Ninja movie with the most Army Navy bad jokes in it. 3.
Let's go with a 4 because, well, you said that all the Super Ninjas sucked. There was one that didn't, and that's Shokasugi. And Shokasugi versus the cough, at the end, to me, that was the only good fight in the whole movie. That plus Steve James just being Steve James. I will not forget the image of him shirt off. Every time he could take his shirt off, he made sure to, and he looked great and all charismatic.
I didn't realize that Shokasugi was in this.
No, I didn't either. I'm looking that up.
Or did I watch another film in between?
I think you did because that's because the main bad guy is not Shokasugi.
Oh, you know what? I think I watched another movie right before I watched this that had Shokasugi in it. Yes.
I think that might be rough on your memorable moments score then. You're remembering stuff from a different film.
I think I might have watched Revenge of the Ninja or something like that. Yeah, I did. I watched Revenge of the Ninja, so
that would have scored.
I could have sworn Dudikoff and Shokasugi fought each other, but it's just that maybe I dreamt it. So let's drop this down to a 2.
Ooh, rough days on that. The fight on the beach, even though it's not a great fight, the ridiculousness of it, I remember the first time I saw this thinking that it's basically a surfing movie with ninja fights instead. And so that bit of him in the wetsuit, Dudikoff in the wetsuit fighting ninjas is a great image.
Mm-hmm.
But still only a 3. Most of this is already gone. Crazy concept.
Well, the part that I find the craziest concept is that Gary Conway, who wrote the screenplay, had the concept for this one, and for the number 3, also the concept for Over the Top. He played the lion, so this was kind of his opportunity to really break out into his movies. But that's really about as crazy as it gets. I have 3.
There's nothing crazy about this. I mean, they do mention super ninjas, so I guess that gets them a 3. And I'm willing to bet that wetsuit was Michael Dudikoff's own. He brought it from home.
and I'll add as well that the main villain in this case is Mike Stone.
Are you sure it wasn't Shokasugi?
Very sure it wasn't Shokasugi.
Well, you mentioned that, and I was like, "Oh shit! How could I not recognize him?" But no.
Yeah, I did like
sure.
You're actually thinking that's possible. That says everything you need to know about this movie. Look, Super Ninjas isn't that crazy in the 80s, but it's still a little crazy. So I will give it a 3. But this film is scoring pretty much as I knew it would.
I think the Super Ninja and the kind of James Bondy feel to the whole thing. I think merging American Ninja and James Bond is a bit of a weird thing. It's not a super weird thing, but still, like, it's zombie ninjas is feels like out of line with the feel of the first film. Still only a 4 though. All right, that brings this film to a final total of 46.5 out of 100. Which puts it behind Dungeons and Dragons and right before The Big Bet.
So where is it in comparison to the first American Ninja movie? Like, I felt like I could have actually kept my scores exactly the same for them, but I think for me, I was most disappointed simply by the fact that the Super Ninjas, which should have really been something, just were underplayed.
You'll have to give me a second so someone else talk while I'm looking.
Yeah, let's give him a second. So I can tell you that we're going to be pretty soon here now. Also, entering the Octagon for our new season. I'll explain the concept for that season while we're waiting. The next season, Enter the Octagon, means that there's going to be 8 films representing 8 potential seasons. Each of us picks a potential season and picks a film to represent it in the Octagon, and they compete. Whoever wins, whatever movie scores the highest, that will be the season we do the following year. Is that enough time for somebody else to talk?
That was. It was just perfect. It came out 3 points ahead. American Ninja 2, 3 points ahead of American Ninja.
Wow.
Oh, no way. Wow.
I think
actually
it's the Super Ninjas. That's what's going to put you over.
It was the Super Ninjas for sure, yeah.
That kept it from being a 1 to a 3.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, Jim, let's do some business, and let's move on to the fun business.
Jim rating.
We are the Cult Film Showdown. We are on Patreon at the Cult Film Showdown. You can support what we're doing here in our search for the ultimate B movies. We are also on Instagram, and we are on YouTube. Please subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and on your favorite podcast app. And review if you can pop a review in somewhere, or a nasty comment on YouTube. We love those too. We are sponsored by WeTalkPodcast.com, the home of the Octagon, and We Talk Podcasts has a Twitter and they have a Facebook.
I mean, seriously, if you've had any entertainment ever from this show, $1 on Patreon, what's that to you?
Okay. Well, now we get to see, it's interesting. Jim and I were talking earlier about whether we actually needed to Jimmerate for this, but ultimately I think the fact is that we just really like to say...
You can't take that from me.
I told you.
Yeah, we just like... Yeah, the Jimmerator's just fun. So please, Jim, Jimmerate!
If you support us on Patreon, then you can get your own home version of the Jimmerator. There's your first... Patreon.
If you support us on Patreon, then we will name the Jimmerator for a couple seasons after you.
Even better, yeah.
Not a couple.
One season, yeah.
Yeah, one season.
Yeah.
If you have a corporate name, you can permanently name the Jimmerator after yourself for a low cost.
Yeah.
The Pepsi
maybe like a 5-year contract.
Yeah, the Pepsi Jimmerator, the Red Bull Jimmerator. I think that has a good sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Monster Energy Jimmerator.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
All right, time to Jimmerate.
And Jimmerate. Up first is Nick. This is the No, we can't season is what you call this one.
Yes. And boy, I'm bringing the heat here. And may I just add, this film would definitely enhance any energy drink product you would like to sponsor this episode with. And, I changed it right before we went in. This is a movie I've wanted to watch with you guys since day one. The most politically incorrect film anywhere has to offer, I have a feeling. The Crippled Masters. Do not get it confused with The Crippled Avengers. 1979's The Crippled Masters is a sight to be seen.
Now,
it is.
That's what the No, we can't is the most politically incorrect movies. Is that the season? I don't remember.
Just stuff that could be never made today. without some sort of riot to stop it from happening.
All right. And Jim Wright. Stan, you're up with the travel log, the Philippines.
Well, I've long been a fan of the Filipino movies, and honestly, there is one that I have wanted to watch for so long, been holding off, and it's finally time. It is time to put For Your Height Only into the octagon. Little wang action here for you.
That was what I changed Cripple Masters from. So.
Well, I'm really glad that you did because it would have been really bad. I would have been like, wait, I have nothing then.
You always got to bring a backup.
Trying to find out if there's a sequel to For Your Height Only.
Well, you wouldn't. There is, but it's called The Impossible Kid. But no, but it's like the thing is, you don't think that you should need to bring a backup when you're doing one-off seasons like this.
Well, we know Nick loves his wing wang.
Never actually seen one. I just like the documentary.
Well, yeah, exactly. Machete Maidens Unleashed. Great documentary that has a section on him.
Oh, no, Wang has his own documentary as well.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. It's on Midnight Pulp. Free.
Midnight Pulp. Okay, I'm definitely looking that up. Okay, Jim Wright.
And Jim Wright. Jack, you're up with the Jacked Hall season.
All jacked up.
All jacked up? Is that what it was? Okay.
It was all jacked up. Man, do you think that's a season about me? And yes, I've been in a film, but we don't review those types of films, even us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give us a film that is called Dead Heat. You guys remember Dead Heat?
Oh, is that the one with Piscopo in it?
That's exactly it. I mean, all jacked up means it's going to be a season of people that are all jacked up. And the jacked up person is not Treat Williams, but it is Joe Piscopo. If you do not know that he is, he's actually a bodybuilder on the side and completely jacked.
Amazingly, and I'm not making this up, that was going to be in this season for me. And I swapped it out for something else.
Oh, thank you.
This is so hilarious.
This is amazing. We are definitely in sync for once.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm filling out the front half here of the season with a season called Let's All Go to the Lobby. This is films that are drive-in related in some way. I wanted it to be quite broad. It can take place at a drive-in. It could be a movie that was made specifically for drive-ins. But the one that we're going to start with it is about a drive-in. It's about a drive-in that's playing a really cool movie called Hard Rock Zombies. This is American Drive-In, 1985.
I was so hoping you'd pick this.
This is the film that the Hard Rock Zombies was made to be part of. The Hard Rock Zombies is the movie within a movie of this film. So I thought, really, we got to go find out what Papa film is about.
And if you're not aware, Hard Rock Zombie is by far the all-time leader for greatest cult movie we've seen.
That's right. Go back and watch that.
So it's not Naked Cage?
No.
It's not. I'll
but
check
I made up for it with
Let me
Hard
check
Rock
the
Zombies.
numbers while you guys...
Yeah.
Oh, you got a Jim Rate. You haven't got time to. You got time to check nothing.
Jim Rate. Nick, you're up with Second Bananas First.
Does a Jim Rate count if you don't do the sound effect?
Well, it did the whole time.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My choice for this entry was, I believe I called it Second Banana Top Dog, something like that. This is where, a second banana from another maybe movie franchise gets a shot at a starring role. And for this one, I'm bringing a two for Dom DeLuise and Jerry Reed team up as a couple of cops in 1970s Hot Stuff. 79. Sorry.
Those are some sidekicks of all sidekicks.
I mean, I love Jerry Reed.
Oh yeah, no. He was
those
always
are
in
both.
the mix. I wanted to do another Jerry Reed movie, but then I discovered there's one that has both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the fact that they're both Burt Reynolds sidekicks in this case is amazing.
Yes. Hopefully that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know it well enough to know whether or not it will be.
There's like a 3-minute scene of Dom DeLuise smoking joints on YouTube. Already. From what I've seen, it's gonna be there.
All right, sounds good.
All right, and Jim Rate. Stan, you're up with the Buckets O' Blood.
Well, Buckets O' Blood. I know that this one's kind of taken off from Jack's, but it's fun to do blood, and we don't talk enough about blood in this show lately. So I thought it would be fun to bring that back, and it was really hard because I considered Hatchet 3 just because I read that it has a real ton of that stuff, but you gotta go to the master. So I'm going with Herschel Gordon Lewis. And I'm going to go with Gore Girls.
Good pick.
Interesting.
This season's going to have some high-scoring movies.
Well, let's hope. And Jim Rate. And continuing to Jim Rate. All right. Jack, you're up with Do-Over was the name of your season.
Yeah, that means that the concept is that we get to do over a season that we did before, a movie that we picked that didn't turn out so well. We get to go back in and put it into a season, replace a movie that we had put in, or theoretically replace a movie that we had put in. So if I'm going to do that, I mean, this movie is perfect for this podcast. Garbage Day. I think most of you already know what I'm talking about just from that. If you don't, this movie could have been in our sequel season, or it could have been in our Christmas season. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Oh, that is something. That was in my Christmas mix a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
All right. And I'll be wrapping it up with Where in the World is Cirio Santiago? Filipino director and director of 100 films. So I hope that I've picked a good one. Because I don't want to put you guys off the other 99. I think, I think it's stack the deck a bit here. If Stan's season wins, then I can still put in the Cirio Santiago movies that I choose for my own season if I win.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a rigged game. This movie has a double dip for me though, because I have become infatuated by the later films of John Carradine. We've done several on this show. They are always weird. This is one of his last starring roles before they started just wheeling him in for a day. This is 1978's Vampire Hookers.
Oh boy, Vampire Hookers. Excellent stuff.
And if it doesn't work out, it's only 82 minutes, so it's not going to hang around long.
And that's the great thing about so many of Cirio Santiago's movies is that they check in that 75 to 80 minute range, and love that. It's he knows what he's doing. There's no question about that. All right, well, I'm excited. The thing about this, the thing that I love about the whole entering the octagon concept is that we do get to bring a lot of these movies. It's a lot of different stuff, and it is the stuff that we're excited about bringing, and so I think that's great. I really am looking forward to next season. So does anybody have anything else to add before we can get onto it?
Oops. No, this sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, all right. Well, for Jim, and for Jack, and for Nick, I am your host, 8th Dan Stanadu, and thanks for listening to the cult film Showdown.
He has been taught the mystic arts of war.
Sight.
He has mastered 1,000 years of secrets. He has learned the way of the ninja. Now, a soldier on a suicide mission. They have been sent to paradise.
Excuse me, ma'am. Wow.
To defeat a conspiracy that threatens the entire world.
Who set me up? I said who?
The lion!
Who's the lion?
He's a millionaire. Made his money on drugs. He's doing research.
The super ninja. The ultimate fighting machine.
Like a predatory tiger, you will feel no pain.
Miracles.
And know no emotion but hate.
It's ninja against ninja.
Charlie, the tower!
Together, they must destroy the most powerful criminal empire the world has ever known. He must defeat the most lethal assassin alive. And they must not fail. Michael Dudikoff returns as the American Ninja with Steve James in American Ninja 2: The Confrontation.